Good afternoon, saints. I welcome you here to Mocha's ministry. Today I have a wonderful word that I think is going to really hit close to home. And I think this word is very, very necessary for the ladies. And also it may be very beneficial to some of you men out there as well. I welcome you to Mocha's ministry. Today's church announcements. I first want to welcome all my subscribers. Those of you who have been rocking with me from day one and you are still dedicated to my channel, I really want to take this time to thank you for your loyalty and your dedication. For those of you who have just subscribed to Mocha Cafe de Paris, I welcome you to the family and I look forward to giving you much more content. And this is your first time ever viewing my content ever, and you like what you hear today, please make sure you subscribe, hit that like button. It will be so gladly appreciated. Thought it was very important today, saints, that I brought you a very important word. Today, I want to discuss the power of the Pookie penis. You heard me correctly. Today, we will be discussing the power of the Pookie penis. Make sure you have your ghetto Bibles open, because I want y'all to follow along with me today as I break down this sermon of the power of the Pookie penis. Those of you who would like to donate, I will be passing around my collection plate. Good evening. to all of my wonderful church members who are entering the congregation today. Hello, China, Nadia, Darius, and everybody else who's entering. Thank you, and I appreciate your support. Today's sermon is the power of Pookie penis. Welcome to today's sermon to the power of the Pookie penis. In the Black community, there is an overabundant population of Pookie penis. Women who have reached a new level of desperation and have finally come to the conclusion that they are down on their luck with men, have given up on the possibilities of seeking a real man. Just like women have always expected a real man to be able to bring something to the table, now the tables have turned and men are seeking out women that not only can bring something to the table, but also has her own table. Well, good evening, everybody that's stepping in here. Appreciate your presence. Women used to have the authority to approve and choose. But now, the men are the ones that are doing all of the choosing and the approving. The tables have turned. The tables have turned. Yes, it has. These low-level minded females today have given up and do not want to accept a real man's expectations. So now they have to resort to settling for what will settle for them. Welcome to Mocha's Ministry congregation. Some of these low-level minded females do not want a real man of real substance and value to challenge them. In other words, women now have reached a level to where they realize they got to bring just as much to the table, if not more. So now what is going on is women have learned to cut corners and settle. Some of these low-minded females do not want a real man, so instead they opt to get a Pookie that will comply to their every command. Pookies today have become really wise, and now they have resorted to using tactics that many women have with low self-esteem are falling prey to. People tend to speak very poorly about Pookies, but to much dismay, many of these low denominator females praise and value the Pookie population. While many of the real men address the Pookie syndrome beta male that lacks masculinity, these Pookies have had an advantage to compensate for their lack of masculinity through the genitals of their penis. So although men are always constantly addressing the lack of masculinity with these Pookies, these women today cannot see the forest from the trees because they are too busy enjoying the orgasms of the Pookie. Pookie is doing everything that a real man would not do to belittle himself to do. With that being said, saints, today I'm going to break down all of the elements concerning the power of the Pookie penis and how it has affected the discretion and common sense that many of us as Black women have pretended to have. Today I will be discussing how the power of the Pookie penis has overly populated men of real value and substance, starting with number one. Make sure y'all taking notes. Make sure you have your Bible open, chapter 1, Pookielations. Thank you very much. Starting with number one. This is how the Pookies started overpopulating real men. The first reason is Pookie knows how to stroke a woman's ego. Yes, he does. In other words, he knows how to make her feel good about herself, even when she knows the reality of her circumstances are pretty much effed up. Pookie will praise her. He will help her to believe in her own delusional and her own delusions by complimenting her for things that she knows truly affects her. For instance, for you to be able to pretty much dissect what I'm saying here, he can know that she has 3 baby daddies. And unlike a real man that would perceive it as a woman being irresponsible, the Pookie would not make her feel bad for her failures. The Pookie knows how to make a woman, a low self-esteem woman, feel good about her failures. Thank you, everyone, for entering today's sermon about the power of the Pookie penis. Big ups to everybody in the chat room. The collection plate will be passed around momentarily. You can cash at me at Diamond Girl. That's my collection plate, if the Lord puts it in your spirit to do so. But your presence here is just as welcome. In other words, the Pookie knows how to stroke a woman's ego. He knows how to make her feel confident about her poor choices. She could be living off government assistance, living in government housing, and he will make her feel good about accepting her circumstances. He won't try to encourage her to get a home of her own. He won't get a job to help her save and stack up some bread for them, to have something more meaningful in the future. The Pookie will help her settle with her shitty circumstances. Oh, Nadia, when I start back using my Patreon, I'll make sure I put it back in the link, love. I appreciate you for bringing that up, though. I haven't been using it lately, but I'm pretty sure when I start back using it, I'll make that information accessible to everyone. But Pookie knows how to make a woman feel good about herself. Yes, he does. The reason why the Pookie will help her feel good about herself is because that's his way of finessing her and winning her over. Like I said, she can have 3, 4, 5 baby daddies, and Pookie will still tell her she's a good mother, she's a good woman. What's up to everyone entering the chat? To all my wonderful fellowship members, I appreciate your presence here at Mocha's Ministry. It's all good, Rockwells. I don't have police patrol grammar here. So basically, that's number one for why the power of the Pookie penis is winning. Because Pookie knows how to stroke a woman's ego. Now we're going to number two. Number two is another reason for how the power of the Pookie penis has overpopulated the alpha men in the Black community. This is the reason why the beta males are winning, or so they think they are. Pookie is very protective. Yes, ladies. A Pookie is like a pit bull. He's going to always defend you. He's going to always growl at anybody who he feels is a threat to him or you. Yes. Pookie is very protective and possessive. He will protect his woman. The reason why the Pookie tends to be very protective of his lady is not because it's making him a real man. The only reason the Pookie tends to be very protective of his lady is because he does not want another brother, another simp to take advantage of her like he is already doing. I notice most women that are with the Pookie is very possessive and very protective of his woman. Good afternoon. Thank you to all my members who decided to fellowship here with me today for today's word for the power of the Pookie penis. I appreciate your presence. Again, my collection plate is Cash App Diamond Girl, and you are welcome to tithe to my fellowship today about the power of the Pookie penis. A lot of women that have low self-esteem that are in a relationship with a Pookie, they think their Pookie is protective of them because he loves her. A lot of women with low self-esteem think their Pookie is protective of them, when really he's not protective of her. He just knows there are other Pookies out there who can swindle her mentally the same way he swindled her mentally. For every Pookie, there's a professional Pookie. There's different levels to being a Pookie. You got some certified Pookies. You got Pookies with diplomas. You got Pookies with master's degrees. And you got Pookies with PhDs. Pookies with PhDs are the most skilled and professional Pookies. They specialize in Pookieism. And yes, that is a word, Pookieism. Look it up in the dictionary. Pookie is very protective of his lady. He doesn't want another woman taking advantage of his woman like he's taking advantage of her. Thank you very much. He knows that because of her being dumb for him, because the Pookie knows that his woman is being dumb for him, he does not trust the fact that she will not be dumb for another Pookie that is just as skilled or more skilled than him. Are you following me, congregation? I want to make sure we all are marinating on this sermon today. A Pookie does not want to be out Pookied. He doesn't want another Pookie taking his Pookie spot. Pookie is going to protect his lady, not because he cares, not because he loves her. He doesn't want another Pookie taking his Pookie spot. Now, Make sure you have your Bibles open to Pookie 𝐜𝐴𝐚'𝐬, chapter 1, 15th verse. The low-level mindedness of this type of female will convince her to believe that the Pookie that's claiming to protect her, she believes that Pookie is looking out for her best interest, when in reality, Pookie is looking out for his best interest. Pookie is going to protect his investment. Yes, he is. And I'm going to give y'all an example of a Pookie. This is a prime example of a Pookie. This Pookie here that we see with Nicki Minaj has been very, very protective of his dame, of his lady. We've been seeing him, hearing about him through paparazzi, charging at people in the street that even looks at his dame the wrong way. Even if they ask her for autograph, he's ready to charge at them. He's been getting into it with her fans, protecting her, being her guard dog. And I know in Nicki's mind, she strongly believes that he really loves her. And a lot of women who are with the Pookie, unfortunately, have this mind concept. They really think they Pookie loves them, when in actuality, the only reason this Pookie is so protective of his dame, he does not want another man having the advantage of using her like he's already doing. And of course, he's going to charge and, go in and go at any and every brother that tries to come anywhere near Nicki's presence, is because that's his way of proving to Nicki that he's down for her, that he's loyal to her, when really the loyalty is for himself. He wants to make sure that no other man can get in on Nicki Minaj's success but him. Big ups to everybody entering the chat room. Appreciate y'all. I'm looking at some notes, so y'all may not see me call y'all names or anything as you enter in here, but I appreciate y'all for coming. This is the third reason why the power of the Pookie penis has overpopulated. Pookie has platform penis skills in the bedroom. Yes. Y'all can talk bad about Pookie all you want, but Pookie knows how to put it down. Pookie will toss the salad like the Olive Garden. Yes. Pookie has no shame in his bedroom game. He will do it all. He will have a sister reaching for things that ain't even up there. He does not discriminate on how to please her sexually. Pookie is not a multiple choice brother. He's not I'm not going to do this. No, my tongue ain't going there. No, I ain't licking that. No, I ain't eating that. No. Pookie is a buffet brother. All you can eat. Yes, he is. This is why the Pookie population is overly compensating for the real men that are about something, because these low level minded women are getting finessed by the power of the Pookie penis. I guarantee you, this brother probably buffeting this Pookie, probably buffeting Nicki Minaj every night. He got that buffet look. He look like he don't turn nothing down. He look like he'll take it however Nicki give it. Sunny side up, fried scramble. I'm telling you, Pookie is tossing her salad every night. This is the reason why Pookie population has gotten significantly high. The reason why Pookie will go the extra mile to please his lady in the bedroom is because he doesn't have a goddamn job. That's why he got so much energy to stroke that kitty cat as much as she wants, because he's not putting that energy in on no 9 to 5. He ain't clocking in, but he getting it in. Hello, thank you very much. A Pookie has too many ain't gots. Yep, that's just who he is, turf. Pookie has too many ain't gots. Pookie got a lot of ain't gots. And what I mean by ain't gots is Pookie ain't got no job, ain't got no car, ain't got no ambition, ain't got no bank account, ain't got nothing but his platinum penis skills. Thank you very much. This is the reason why Pookie goes all out in the bedroom. That Pookie, the reason why Pookie is so great in the bedroom is because that is his way for compensating for his ain't gots. He compensates for his ain't gots by putting in overtime with his stroke game in the bedroom. He ain't gonna hit that time clock, but he gonna hit you every night in that bedroom. That's the only thing he gonna hit. He gonna hit it, but he ain't hitting no time clock now. He ain't about to work nowhere. So that's number 3. Pookie knows he's great in the bedroom. What's up, Kiki? Everybody that's entering today's sermon, we're talking about the power of the Pookie penis. He has nothing but time on his hands. He doesn't work. He don't have a job. Of course, he can stroke you all day. A real man with a real job and real ambition ain't got time to stroke no woman every night. He got to preserve that energy sometimes for his job, for his career. Pookie got all day to stroke you because Pookie is home crashing on your sofa, watching your Netflix and Hulu, saving all that energy up, charging his battery to stroke you all night while you the one that's working all day from 9 to 5. Pookie driving your car, dropping you off to work, driving your Toyota Camry 2017, the payments you making on it. He burning the gas out your car and then coming to pick you up late. And then when he comes to pick you up, he got his 2, 3 broke ass homies sitting in the back seat chilling, your whole Toyota Camry smelling like goddamn burgers from Checkers and weed and Hennessy. Talk about the power of the Pookie penis. Exactly 193. That's what he's doing. Now, for some of you who are coming in, just to kind of bring y'all up to par on today's sermon, we're talking about the power of the Pookie penis. The first thing I said, for those who missed it, I said one of the elements were Pookie knows how to stroke a woman's ego. He knows how to make her feel good about herself. She could weigh 300 pounds, weigh the size of a Greyhound bus, and he will call her Alexis. Pookie knows how to make a delusional ass female feel good about her goddamn self. She can like Holly Scary, but he'll tell her, baby, you look like Holly Berry. The second reason I said there's power of the Pookie penis is because Pookie is very protective. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not to say that real men are not protective of their woman. I think any man who loves his woman, values his woman, he's going to protect her at all costs. And as a man, you should protect your woman. But Pookie takes his possession and protection an extra mile. Pookie loves to get in his woman's battles, even with other women. Pookie will get in everything. Pookie will get in stuff that a man shouldn't even get involved in. Now, it's one thing to come to your woman's rescue if a man is disrespecting her, a man is challenging her, but Pookie gets in everything. Pookie is like her guard dog. He's like her probation officer. If she's beefing with other women, Pookie get involved and get in the drama of women to protect his woman. Stay out of woman's business, Pookie. Let your woman fight her own battle when it's her beefing with other women. Now, if she's beefing with the man, that's different. Don't no man need to be getting in no woman's business unless the woman is physically assaulting his woman in his presence. That's different. I have a problem with nosy men who be all up in women's business, worrying about somebody gossiping about his woman and all of that. That's straight beta male syndrome. So if you missed out, those were the first two reasons. Pookie knows how to stroke a woman's ego. Pookie is very protective. Pookie has platform penis. Stay out of woman's business, Pookie. Fourth reason is this. Fourth reason, the power of the Pookie penis has taken over. And make sure I get that likes up, everyone. Make sure y'all share this video because it's a sister out there that needs to detox from her Pookie. So please share this sermon with a sister that is struggling and needs to be delivered from Pookie penis. Exactly, E. Alice, and I mentioned it earlier. I talked about how those Pookies, they not picky at pleasing they woman. They toss more salad than an Olive Garden. I said that earlier. He will get every nook and cranny of your body. He won't miss not one spot. And that's why a lot of y'all sisters have become Pookie fiends, because Pookie done turned your ass out in the bedroom. He had you reaching for stuff that wasn't even up there. Pookie got you driving your car. Yeah, because Pookie don't have a car. Pookie, the power of the penis Pookie has gotten so powerful. He driving your car and you know he ain't got no license. You looking for Pookie in the daylight with a flashlight. That's how possessed you are with the power of the Pookie penis. Now, the fourth reason the power of the Pookie penis has taken over. The fourth reason is Pookie lacks masculinity, but his lady overcompensates for his lack of masculinity by being the dominant one in the relationship. And the Pookie does not see his woman's masculinity as being a threat to him, because that makes it easier for him not to have to do a goddamn thing. What's up, Missy King? By everybody who's entering today's sermon, I'm talking about the power of the Pookie penis. In other words, she does not allow him to take the role as a man. Meaning, she doesn't have a problem with paying the bills. She doesn't have a problem with taking on the responsibilities of a man, because it makes her feel like she is in charge. And because the Pookie is brilliant. Pookie knows that his wife is practically, or his woman is practically the one running everything. So his way of filling in the gaps of masculinity, he just does the mediocre things around the household to compensate for the lack of masculinity. Like, in other words, he may just take the trash out, he may just, bring her lunch to her job. He does little fill in the gap things to try to fill in the other where he's lacking as far as masculine. Where he's lacking, basically, I'm getting tongue tied. Basically, when a Pookie knows his wife is really the one that has the most masculine role in the relationship, his way of compensating and making her feel as if she's not really the masculine one, he will do little mediocre favors to make her feel like he's just as masculine as her. Like, in other words, if he feels like somebody is coming at his woman, he will get into all the little petty stuff, like little he say, she say, little feminine issues. He'll partake in that to prove his masculinity to his woman, that he's not as feminine as he's pretending not to be. Most of the time, I see him as well when he showed you are, believe you. Point indeed, turf. But Pookies, as I stated, they know they are lacking in many areas as a man. So they compensate for it in other areas. Third degree, we're going to call her a Pookie investor. If he's a Pookie, she's a Pookie investor, because she's investing in him. Now, I don't think there's an issue with the man pleasing his woman however they choose. Whatever a man and a woman does in their bedroom, regardless of how nasty we may perceive it to be on the outside, but if that's what they're doing to please each other, then I don't think it's a bad thing. But what I'm saying is Pookie uses all of his sexual shenanigans to manipulate a woman. Not because he's not overly sexual because he's trying to please her. He's overly sexual so he can continue to keep benefiting from her. Yes, investments with no return. In other words, Blue Marvel, Pookie is the as is, no warranty. And it's a lot of sisters out here dealing with Pookies that are as is, no warranty, meaning that no matter how much you put into your Pookie, you may risk a chance of not getting the goddamn thing back in return. The Great Pookie Project, absolutely. Yes, she's a Pookie investor. Now, when I brought up the point about the Pookie lacks masculinity, and his woman overly compensates for it. In other words, she does not allow him to take the role as a man, meaning making him pay the bills, him handling the business, or making him be responsible as a man. That gives him an advantage to not have to step up and be no more than what he is, which in actuality is a win-win for Pookie. Pookie is enjoying the fruits of her labor. Pookie basically gets to ride the waves off of his Pookie investor. He gets to enjoy her car, her house, her notoriety, her money, all of her benefits. He gets to capitalize off of that. This is a prime example of a Pookie here. He's capitalizing off of Nicki Minaj, the Pookie investor. He's capitalizing off of this woman. He's capitalizing off of her fame. He's capitalizing off of her notoriety, off of her money. And she may not be putting money directly in his hand, but I guarantee you, every time she goes somewhere and she buys herself something, she's buying him something too. She buy herself a fur coat, he get a fur coat. She buy herself a platinum chain, he get a platinum chain. Pookie gets to enjoy the fruits of thy labor. Pookie can get all of what he wants and still not have to be more than what he is. This is in Pookie chapter 5, 15th verse. Pookie can still get all of what he wants and still not have to be no more than what he is. And the reason I feel in this particular situation, this particular Pookie was able to swindle his way into getting with Queen Nikki. Basically was because he wasn't a challenge. Most Pookies are not a challenge. All of the other men she has ever tried to date within the industry, she could not have her way with them. She could not have her way with Drake. There's been rumors of them dating, not dating. She couldn't have her way with Meek Mill. Meek Mill was just as overly dominant as her. So that was a recipe for disaster. She definitely couldn't get with Nas. Nas, the prophetic rapper. Absolutely, he's going to have a Lamborghini. And that's why I'm breaking down the elements. The reason why Pookie chose him, because he's not a challenge. It's more leverage for her. If a man got a Lamborghini like you got a Lamborghini, guess what? He get in an argument, whatever with you, he could pull off in his Lamborghini like you have your Lamborghini. He could pull off and go to his condo and leave you in your condo. You're not a threat to a successful man that's just as successful as you. Yeah, she tried to link with Nas, and I knew that was not going to work because Nas is highly intellectual. Nas is a brother with a lot of knowledge. He wasn't going to be able to deal with her pigeon brain for but so long. The dating with her and Nas, it came and went. Nas is way too intellectual. To be with Nas, you have to be a woman with a lot of wisdom, or else he will get irritated by you very quick. So it was easy. It's easy to win a Pookie over. Pookie, you don't have to please a Pookie a lot. You don't have to do a whole lot to please a Pookie. You could win a Pookie over with a chili dog and tater tots from Sonic's. A man who has just as much to bring to the table, she couldn't pull that with none of them. Meek Mill got just as much bread as she did. So she could not make Meek Mill bow down to her. She couldn't even make her first boyfriend, Safari, even though Safari wasn't big time and wasn't this big rapper, but she could not make him bow because he was not willing to be her Pookie anymore. Safari said he left Nicki Minaj because Nicki started treating him like he was an employee and not like he was her man. So he, even not having the money she had, he walked out and left her. And she likes to talk big trash about him now, but make no mistake about it, she took that breakup really, really hard when Safari left her. That was very devastating. She will pop junk now, but when that breakup initially went down, she really took that breakup really hard. She was with that man for 10 years. And I really think this sex offender dude, I forgot his name, but I really think the sex offender dude, he became a rebound. She so badly want to prove a point to all the men in the industry who do not want her, the men who have left her. She grabbed this Pookie out of spite. And a lot of us as Black women, we are grabbing Pookies out of spite. Yeah, his name is Pookie Petty. Thank you, E. Alice. I'm going to call him Pookie Petty. Got an easy name. I just couldn't remember it. Exactly. That's who she should have stayed with. She should have stayed with Safari because he was with her when she had nothing. He would have kept her head on strong. And because she lost her foundation, which was Safari, now she's picking up anything. She doesn't pick up Pookie Petty. I heard that too, Third Burn. Mm-hmm. Now back to these Pookielations. Some Pookies love for a woman to take charge. And although this may feel good for a woman who is used to being in control and running all over her man, in actuality, eventually she's going to get frustrated. Exactly, King Bob. As much as a woman pretends that she loves to be in charge, it's a lie. Eventually, she's going to want her man to be a man. Let me see. Some guy was crying saying she put a hit on him. Could be because Pookie Petty has a lot of connections. Yeah, she's beefing with DJ Academics right now, son. She's beefing. He said something about her or whatever, and he was upset and I guess he was threatened and told that Nikki had put a hit out on him. 9 times out of 10, it was her Pookie Petty who did it. Pookie is as slick as WD-40 oil, and he is as smooth as off-brand great value butter from Walmart. Pookie knows how to finesse himself and to finesse a low-level minded woman. The need for control might come from her fear of abandonment. Exactly. That's just what it is. Nicki Minaj has not had the best of luck with many of the men in the industry. And as I stated, when a man is coming to the table with as much as you, he's not confined to dealing with you. He's not confined to tolerating your BS. Drake didn't have to deal. Meek Mill wasn't going to deal. Safari wasn't going to deal. So she picked up a Pookie because Pookie will comply. Pookies are always the most complying, especially with the woman who has more than he has. He's less of a challenge. Pookie is not going to try to challenge you. And in her mind, she strongly believes that she's winning with this man. Even though he has an extensive record that's longer than the ankle of Wendy Williams, yet she still believes in him. It's the power of the Pookie penis, ladies. A lot of y'all think it's love, and it's not love, it's lust. You think he's really into you, but no, he just likes to get into you, if you know what I mean. So as you can see, I broke down all of the elements today about the power of the Pookie penis and how it has tarnished our discernment as Black women, being manipulated by the power of the penis, because these guys have an advanced stroke game in the bedroom, especially if you're a woman that's not used to being sexually fulfilled. And who's to say that probably wasn't one of Nicki Minaj's issues with a lot of the men she dated? They probably would not do what Pookie Patty is doing sexually. He's probably banging that Tupperware every single night. And like I stated, Pookie has all the energy to sexually fulfill a woman because he don't have a 9 to 5. He don't have a job. Yes, Pookies need love too. It's one thing if Pookie is a flame, but you're trying to make Pookie your man, trying to make Pookie your husband, that's a whole nother problem. And this is the reason why I had to share this sermon today about the power of the Pookie penis. We as Black women need to stop being dickmatized, being thirsty, being desperate. I don't care how many times he makes you come, those bills are not going to start coming. At the end of the day, you have real responsibilities. And the risky part is when you take in a Pookie, especially when you are the one who predominantly has everything, you stand a chance of really getting used. And now, what I strongly believe, this is just my assumption with Nicki, She's gonna hold on for dear life to this Pookie. I don't care what all he does to her behind closed doors, because ladies, eventually Pookie will get comfortable. Eventually, he's gonna start acting like an ass sooner or later. He's doing all this massa acting like a little slave boy toy right now, but eventually he's gonna show his wicked ass ways, and then you're going to be stuck. And I truly believe Nikki is not going to want to look like a failure again. So she's going to hold on no matter how bad it gets, because Nikki doesn't want to look like a failure. Nikki does not want to look like a loser. And that is the problem why a lot of women are in a lot of miserable ass relationships, is because we're more concerned about our image than our health. We'd rather be in situations that look good than for us to be in situations that really are good. The problem with us as Black women, we're more concerned about our looks. We're more concerned what our family think. We're more concerned what our baby daddy's going to think. We're more concerned what our ex-husband's going to think. We're more concerned what our friends going to think. So we will hold on to toxic Pookies just to prove a point. Nikki is not going to let this Pookie go. He done hit lotto. The only way it's going to end, he's going to have to be the one to make it in. And I doubt it, because he's benefiting way too well. But what I believe once he has gotten used to the perks of being with a star, I believe the true mask is going to wear off. As 𝐜𝐴𝐚'𝐬, the mask will fall off sooner or later. The mask is going to show. And she's going to stay right there and take all the BS, everything. She's going to deal with it. Exactly. And that's a problem with a lot of women. With a lot of us as women, when a relationship fails, we want to prove our man, our exes, we want to prove to them that we are doing better without them. Too many women make this mistake. They jump on the next ship they see sailing their way, because they man done moved on and got somebody. So they don't want to look like they can't get anybody. And we play ourselves every time. And the worst thing a woman can do is choose a Pookie at a very vulnerable moment. Especially when you're in a moment of thirst, when you're in a thirsty period in your life. You don't need a man, because anything he does is going to look good, because you're blinded by the fog, because you're still hurt about the past relationships that you have not gotten past. Absolutely. And female celebrities, they catch the hardest time in the industry, because a lot of the men who would be compatible for them ain't checking for them like that. Them dudes in the industry, they are not checking for Nikki like that. None of them. Every dude she ever tried to pick up in the industry, Nas, Meek Mill, them dudes, they couldn't deal with her. And I really believe she's a piece of work. I'm not taking away from her stardom. I'm not taking away from her talent. But I believe Nikki is a pigeon brain. She's ditzy. She's annoying. She's clingy like fabric softener sheets in a damn dryer. She clingy as hell. Most successful, pretty, beautiful women in the industry are very clingy. Why do you think Halle Berry has changed more men than Wendy done changed wigs? Why do you think Jennifer Lopez has been married every bit 4 or 5 times? A lot of these beautiful women in the industry that you men are drooling over, a lot of these women have psychological issues. As beautiful as Ashanti is, she has not been able to get a man yet. She stayed with Nelly for 10 years and that just flopped. And she ain't been able to catch a break since. Angela Simmons, another very beautiful woman. Run DMC's daughter. Very beautiful young lady. Had her first child from a Pookie. Because the dudes in the industry, they know these females are pigeon brains. Pookies don't care if a woman is a pigeon brain. Long as she got some money and he could break her off every now and then, he's good. And no, you can't see it. When you're a woman and you're with the Pookie, everybody can see your Pookie for who he truly is, but you. Because even with all her millions, with all her money, all her success, Nikki still could not get what she really wanted. And this is what happens to the problem with women in the industry, unlike us average women. Some of us, for the most part, we are in reality because we are dealing with everyday struggles. We got bills, we got kids, we got student loans we got to pay on. So average women, we know shit ain't always gravy. You feel me? But these women in industry, the industry has basically tainted them with false hope, meaning that women that are celebrities like Jennifer Lopez, like Nicki Minaj, and all of these beautiful women and everything, these women in the industry, the problem is because average guys are drooling over them, they think that men in the industry are going to fall to their feet the same way. And they don't. And even if an average guy does decide to get with a woman in the industry, sooner or later, once he gets to see the real Ashanti or Holly Berry for who she is, he's not going to give a damn about her stardom. He's going to be trying to get away from her crazy ass. Once you meet these women behind their names, the fantasy of them, it won't even mean anything to you. Because a lot of these women in the industry are very dysfunctional. And we don't even have to just talk industry wise. Even average women that are very beautiful, very gorgeous, they are so used to having men fall at their feet. They think all men should do the same thing, only to get disappointed and find out there's a brother out there that's going to cut her off without a problem. Exactly. And we know, and let's speak on this Serena thing. Now, I will give Serena this. She's very successful. She's very talented. And I could be mean for saying this, but look wise, she looks like a transformer. I'm just being frank. She's not look wise. I can't take away the fact that she doesn't have a nice body. I can't say she's not in shape, but ain't too many dudes checking for her like that. So she had to go get how could I say this nicely? She had to go settle for white chocolate mocha. I'm not a man, so I don't know. She may be attractive to y'all, so I can't say. I don't want to sound like a hater. If a woman is pretty, I'll tell her she's pretty. If a woman has a nice body, I'll tell you got a nice body. But I ain't trying to be funny. She look like she could play for the 49ers. And at the same time, I agree with that, Alice. I don't think Serena settled on Beyond. I think she weighed her options and went for the best one, not for the worst one. If she was stuck on having to have a black man, she could have ended up with a Pookie. And I agree with that. I agree with that, Alice. I agree. I agree with that. It was either that or choose a Pookie. Because a man of substance and value, come on, you know them brothers in the industry. Let's be for real. Come on. We all grown here. We grown. You know the nice looking men in the industry ain't checking for no Serena. Let's just be for real. Most of the men in the industry, you damn near got to be Latina, you got to be Asian, you got to be light or all the way white, right? She's not prime choice as far as the men in the industry. And I'm not taking away from her success. That has nothing to do with it. I can't take her success away from her. She's badass at what she does. I'ma give her that. But look wise, I'm sorry. She could have. But the thing is, cut to the chase, would a successful brother settle for her? Because I've heard many average guys say they are not attracted to her. So if the majority of you non-celebrity men think that way, imagine how men with millions think. A man with millions gonna go for the top notch. Why you think 50 Cent had his second son from a pretty Asian woman? They're not about the men of high status in the industry. They're not about to rock with Kiki. With Kiki, I don't want to use Kiki name in here, but they're not about to rock with Keisha, who work at Popeyes, and y'all know it. Oh, okay, cut to the chase. So there was a possibility, or maybe she didn't feel worthy enough for men of success to value her. Maybe it was her who didn't feel like she would stand a chance, and maybe her way of going that way was playing it safe. Or maybe she's witnessed what so many other black women have gone through in the industry with rappers, with athletes, and realize, nah, I don't want to go that way. And especially with her already being an athlete, she probably already knows the in and outs of some of the guys who do have admiration from her. Yeah, cut to the chase. Yeah, pretty much. But see, in that world, they know each other very well. In the industry, everybody know everybody. Half of the dudes that probably was checking for her, she probably heard some inside stuff about them. Cause let's be frank, a lot of these athletes is be having all kind of secrets, having all kind of secret girlfriends and stuff like that. A lot of these athletes and rappers in the industry, a lot of them ain't clean. We know them for their success, but we are not in that circle to really know the real dirt with them. The only time we find out some dirt is through TMZ and through, social media. But we're not in that circle to really know the real dirt. And that's probably why a lot of men are not checking in that industry for Nicki Minaj. We know Nicki as Nicki, the successful woman, this pretty woman, this beautiful woman, but they probably done heard so much trashy things about her from other men in the industry who don't already rock with her, to where they saw her as disposable, which is the reason why she had to resort to a Pookie. And I'm just saying. I said I'm not a man, but Serena. I'm just saying. I don't know. She just don't seem like she's the cat's meow. You know. And then on top of that, the men who were interested in her, who's to say they was really interested in her for the right reasons? If y'all understand what I'm saying. If they did express they had a liking or admiration for her, it was only probably because of who the hell she was. You get what I'm saying? So we really can't say they was interested in Serena because she was Serena. So yeah, a lot of these women in the industry, a lot of them are getting passed around like blunts. A lot of them getting passed around like Texas Pete hot sauce at a cookout. So that is why a lot of them are resorting to Pookies. Because let's face it, men that are really successful have high expectations. Now, even though we hear, well, she's a successful woman, why she didn't get with a man? One would think that would make sense, but let me tell y'all something. Sometimes too much of the same thing is not good together. Just because a woman has a lot of money and a man has a lot of money, you think they would be a power couple? Not necessarily. Sometimes somebody has to be a little lower than the other. That's what keeps the relationship balanced. Why do you think there's so much divorce in the Hollywood sector? People with all this money, they cannot be together. Too much of the same thing ain't good. Now, I'm not saying if you are a CEO, you should settle for somebody that, empties the trash. But sometimes you have to lower your standards just a little. A man with a lot of money and a woman with a lot of money, guess what? The moment we have a disagreement or we fall out, I'm leaving because I got my millions, you got your millions. We don't feel the need to make the relationship work because we both are on the same level. I've seen couples who struggle have longer marriages than couples who both had a lot of goddamn money. Look at all these Hollywood divorces. We hear people divorce every day in Hollywood. So you cannot go by that. A successful man doesn't necessarily belong to a successful woman because she may not know how to humble herself as his wife because in her mind, I got just as much money as you. I ain't got to humble myself. I don't have to be submissive. And no, I'm not saying the successful brother should go and get Keisha out the projects because that's stooping way too low. But ironically, I know y'all heard of the football player 𝐜𝐴T𝐚'𝐬. He was with Evelyn at one point in time, and he had a lot of controversy surrounding him after the attack with Evelyn Lozada from the Basketball Housewives. After that, you know what he did? He picked up an average sister. Nowhere was a celebrity. Nowhere was in a celebrity circle. And a lot of people clowned him for it. They felt like 𝐜𝐴T𝐚'𝐬 downgraded because he went for a more simple chick that didn't have a lot compared to Evelyn Lozada. And third degree, you're not the only brother to state that. He got with an average woman, had a child with her, and he is still with her. His relationship with her lasted longer than the beautiful light-skinned Becky with long hair, Evelyn Lozada. And she's a beautiful woman, but she can't keep a man. Evelyn done changed more men than nurses change diapers in a nursing home. So you can't figure what's up, Rollo. Thank you for coming in and stop by. So you can't misconstrue and figure a successful woman belongs with a successful man. I've seen successful people fail at marriages because both was not willing to humble themselves. If I got 10 million in my account and you got 10 million in your account, I don't have to humble myself for you. But couples who struggle together, they have to humble because neither one of them have it like that to be trying to overly dominate the other one. Most average looking white. Not saying they're ugly, but they hella average looking in their face. I think that's a good question. Cut to the chase. I think what has happened in instances like that, cut to the chase, is that I think some of these men, hypothetically speaking, have been with so many beautiful black women and found out it's been a headache being with women that are really beautiful, that are well together physically. I think that sometimes when men opt for an average the basic Becky, probably is because he has gone through too many headaches with beautiful black women. And at this point, it's no longer about looks for him. It's about, I need a piece of goddamn mind. I done been with the beautiful Keishas. I done been with the beautiful Evelyn Lozadas. I done been with the Holly Berries, and they all crazy as hell. I can't deal with them no more. I think that's what has happened. And basic Becky is a little bit more cunning. She's less reluctant. She does not give him near a difficult time compared to a Evelyn Lozada. I think that's usually what happens. I think when men have gone through it, what's up, Omega? I believe that when men have gone through too much with beautiful black women, it's like the hell with this. Let me just get a basic Becky. I just want somebody who's just not going to give my ass a hard goddamn time. Later for all this, she fine and got a big ass and big titties. I need, she's a big goddamn headache. She got a big ass and big titties, but she a big headache. I'm tired of her. I want out. I've heard men say it. Yeah, and exactly, Alice. Chad Ochocinco got with a basic broad, but they've been together for a long time. Now, him and Evelyn, with her bread and with his money, I thought they was gonna be the power couple. That relationship became an epic fail. You cannot put too much of the same thing together. It's like adding fire with gasoline. There's going to be an explosion. What's up, Darius? Most Western women are cut. Most international women are the Babylon ways. I can concur with that. Or men simply become women. Settled and gave up. Yeah, I can concur with that. He probably just like you got women that are settling for Pookies because they have given up on trying to get a real black man, trying to get an alpha male. They don't want to challenge an alpha male because the alpha male is going to have high requirements. So what happens is when she realizes she can't get anywhere with an alpha male, she resorts to the beta males, the builder bums, the Pookies, the Ray Rays. And just like she settles for the Pookie and Ray Rays, I think that is the case with some of these brothers. When they can't get anywhere with black women who are headstrong, who are successful, they tired of the challenge, they will go get the basic Becky. They don't feel like putting in all that extra work. Yeah, braces. Yeah, she other than her braces, I was surprised with the fact that Ocho Cinco, the last woman he chose to wipe up and scoop up, it wasn't so much the braces that I was shocked about. I was shocked about the fact that she already had 5, 6 kids. But then again, Ocho Cinco he has a couple of children. So then again, for them, it probably was some compatibility there. Because some women, with average women, some of them, not all, but some of them know how to humble themselves because they're not in the position to buck a challenger man. And that's probably the reason why Chad was able to scoop her up and have a long-term relationship with her, because the woman, she didn't come into the relationship with a whole lot. Chad had more than she did. So therefore, she had to humble herself. So there are pros and cons to dealing with women who have less than you. If a woman has less than a man, she may try to pimp him far as she can, use him far as she can. Or she may humble herself and realize that she'll never luck up again. She'll never luck up again and get a man that's successful. So she'll humble herself. Or you can get with a woman that's very successful because you don't want to deal with a woman that has less than you. But dealing with women that are successful, there's a lot that comes with them too. Because she's going to less likely be humble to you because she has just as much as you have. So if you're not willing to bend over and kiss her behind, guess what? She can just jump on the next ship sailing because she already knows she has good money too. And there are other men that are just as attracted to her as you are. And that's what it boils down to. We need to take the word struggle and settle out of relationship conversation. It all depends on how you perceive it, because I think struggle can be a good thing if it means struggle is going to help y'all to come together and build and grow and prosper. Now, struggle is a bad thing in a relationship in the sense if neither one of you don't plan on doing nothing better other than to stay where y'all are and stay in the struggle. So it just kind of depends on how you apply struggle. Settling, on the other hand, there's different definitions of settling. Settling is a bad thing if you are willing to take on a person who is totally dead weight to your life versus settling in a sense of, okay, I know he's not the perfect man. I know he's not the perfect woman, but overall, she's a good woman. She has her hangups. He's a good man, has his hangups, but I'm willing to settle with their faults to a certain degree. So it kind of depends on where you apply struggle and where you apply settle. It depends on how you look at it and how you apply it. But anyway, y'all, I have rambled on more than enough. I believe I have. I thank you. I appreciate everybody who viewed my sermons today about the power of the Pookie penis. Again, ladies, we need to stop being stigmatized and deceived by the power of the Pookie penis. Because at the end of the day, as women, we have the power of our vaginas. We decide who to let in and who not to let in. So if you're in the situation with the Pookie, that is because you allowed it. You allowed Pookie to stroke the kitty cat, and now you done got hooked on him like meth. And now you are afraid to leave Pookie because he done put down that platinum penis stroke game. So therefore, you fear if you was to terminate this dude, that you're going to miss out on your platinum Pookie penis. Thank you, everyone, for viewing this sermon. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all of you hanging out with me today at Mocha's Ministry. Please like this video. Please share this video. There is a sister that needs to be delivered from Pookie. Share with her this video. She needs to be delivered because the power of the Pookie penis has gotten a hold over her life. She can't be delivered. She has got addicted to the power of the Pookie penis. With that being said, everybody, make sure you like, share, subscribe. I'm going to get ready to end my sermon this evening. And for anybody who would like to donate to my collection plate for Mocha's Ministry, my collection plate is Cash App, Diamond Girl. If you want to tithe into today's lesson of the power of the Pookie penis, With that being said, everyone, may your day continue to be wonderful for you. This is your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, signing off, and I'll be chatting with y'all later. Be blessed. And ladies, avoid the power of the penis Pookie.